right. Hello to each and every one of you. It's a pleasure to be a host, your host for this call. My name is David Maloney, for those that do not know, and I want this call to be something that will definitely impact you. I want this call to be something that you can look back at and say, you know what, there's something that was said on that call that really shifted the way I think or the way I see a particular thing, a particular situation, right? And let me just give you all a little background. So, sometime this week, right? Sometime this week, one of my business partners, he messaged me and he asked me a question, and he said, David, you know, I need your help, right? How do you make it look so easy? And I was like, how do I respond to this? Okay. How do I make it look so easy now? I had no idea that I made it look easy. And I will never say that it's easy. So I was thinking, okay, how can I respond to this? And right before he messaged me, I was actually doing my little devotional. So I was reading up on Galatians 6:9, right? And let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. So I think that has a lot to do with, you know, any successful person that you may see making this look easy, right? Could it be that they are not growing weary in well doing because they know that very soon they're going to reap if they faint not, if they persist, right? So I was thinking, okay, for us as an organization to accelerate and have that success that we all desire for 2021, we have to be able to think a certain way and operate a certain way. So I wanted to do, you know, a little training call, but I was looking to do something different, right? So I thought, hey, why not do a nice little Q&A session with my mentor, Mr. McSween, the individual who has helped me get to where I am today, the person who I can say, listen, if it wasn't for him, I'm not sure how my life would be right now, right? This guy, he has been a wonderful example for me, first to begin, showing me what it will be like if I don't grow weary in well doing, what it will be like if I just continue to do the work, continue to do the activity, right? What it is like being able to continue in the midst of challenges, right? So, Mr. McSween, I'm so glad that you decided to come onto this call here with all of us. Really, really appreciate that. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm fantastic, brother. Fantastic.
Good deal, good deal. So it will be a nice Q&A session that I thought to do. And I mean, I would love for you, if you must, you know, take it anywhere you want to go. But I just have a few questions that I'd really love for you to touch on because, you know, I want to also learn on this call too, okay? So everybody knows the Gar McSween now, right? Everybody knows the chairman 10 and 38 days, right? Everybody knows, right? The Porsche, the Rolex, you know, all those things. But even I don't know much about the Gary McSween before the gold pack, right? So can you tell us a little bit about what your life was like prior to business, prior to you registering in your first business opportunity? What were what were your goals like? What was your daily method of operations like around that time?
That's a good question. Um, so before I even started the business you're talking about,
Yes.
well, I mean, I did everything my parents told me to do. You know, go to school, get a great education, and go find a great job, and that's what I was doing. I went to school. I went to Barataria Anglican Primary School, and wasn't that good at school work. Right, I was very my attention span was very short. Um, but I had a good teacher at Form 4, Form 5, so I ended up doing pretty good at math. And yeah, then I progressed to, I went to Success Lab until, some people probably don't know that. I went to Success Lab until the secondary school. And at CXC level, I did okay. And then I studied, I did add maths and further maths. Um, and then I went to, well, at that time it was TTIT, Trinidad and Tobago Institute of Technology. And I went that route because in Trinidad, for those of you that are international, most people wanted to go down the path of engineering and finding a job in the oil and gas industry. So that's the path that I took. The goal was to land a really nice paying job. And back then, a nice paying job was, 10,000 TT a month.
Right.
10,000 TT a month was a great job back then. And yeah, so I did that I did my diploma for 2 years. And then I did my degree for 4 years. And my degree was in process, utilities, and engineering. And then so while I was in university, I started a band. Yeah. Coming down to the ending. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I started the band coming down to the end. And so it was university and then singing. I'm a very big singer. For those of you that don't know. Not big singer.
Many may not know that. You could hit some chords right now.
A lot of people don't know that I'm actually a singer, right? Yes, here in SOS. So I had a band, the name of the band was SOS. And myself and Dwayne Thomas, we were like the leaders of the band. But yeah, so the whole focus was with the university was just to find that good job. So I remember when we were in school and we were talking about just landing that perfect job,
Right.
And we talked about it so much that we believed 100% that as soon as we graduated, these companies would take us, And then you get hit with the reality that, okay, well, they're not really about your degree, it's about who you know in the company and who knows you, right? So my degree is gone. After I finished my degree, I actually, my wife's close family friend worked in Petrotrin. And at that time we were courting. So I told him, I said, bro, I'm looking to get a job. And he was an engineer already in Petrotrin. So because of, him working in there, he pushed up my resume a little bit more.
He sent the email.
I don't know if he sent the email or he put my resume on top of the stack. And I ended up getting a permanent job. Actually, I got into the operator training program in Petrotrin. And to get into that is a big deal because once you get in and you go through the course, you know you're going to land a permanent job for sure. And it's almost like a big dream for everyone to just land that permanent job in an oil company, So that was a big deal. And yeah, I was pretty excited about that. So I skipped a couple of seasons in my life from the degree because I went and I worked offshore for like 6 months. I used to work at an offshore company for like 6 months. And then I got that permanent job with Petrotrin. I mean, there's a couple other companies I worked for in between there. But anyway, that's a long story short of what I did before business. So while I was in Petrotrin, that's when I started my entrepreneurial journey.
Right.
I would say. So yeah, that's the background of Gary McSween there.
Okay. And in terms of your goals, right? So prior to you getting started in that business, would you say that you had like the same type of goals in terms of, like having abundance and being able to empower the people and that kind of thing?
That's a good question. I will say this. I always had the desire to become a multimillionaire. I think that was always there. but I was thinking in TT dollars, not
Ah,
US dollars.
okay. Okay. All right, good
Um,
deal, good deal. Mm-hmm.
and I always knew for sure that God would have used me to impact men and young men. I always felt that. So yeah. Hope they
Right.
answered that.
And that knowing, where did it come from? Is it that you saw someone who had that impact and you wanted it, or someone spoke that into your life? Like, where did that start? Where you knew that you were going to impact men?
I don't know. I think maybe somebody spoke it into my life, maybe. Um, but I always have the desire to be a good role model.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So your good friend, right? Who's also a good friend of mine now, Mr. Dwayne Thomas, right? So he gave you that phone call, told you about the business, and you were skeptical,
Yes.
right? So what changed that made you feel like, okay, I should really get started in this, in that business?
Yeah, well, I met someone. Who was very successful, and um, and that gentleman was a six-figure earner at that time.
Hmm.
I remember meeting him, and I saw like his six-figure ring, and I was like, "What, did you know, like somebody can actually make like 100,000 US dollars?" I'm like, and then I found out he was Trinidadian, and that was like, whoa, that was like a big deal to me.
Right.
So that was the initial icebreaker in terms of me realizing and believing, okay, it is possible for someone to really have big success, you know?
Hmm. Okay. Good. So you saw the end result that made you feel like, okay, let me see what I can do, right? And you
Right.
getting started, right? So that would have been your day one. Would you say it was easy for you telling your friends about the business, right? Because that company was relatively new, right? And there are a lot of people now who feel like, it's so hard to tell my friends, right? Somebody even asked a particular question. Do you feel afraid exposing others to the business and promoting the business on social media? So especially in your beginning, your day one, what was it like for you?
It wasn't easy. And the reason why it wasn't easy um, was simply because I was not sure as yet.
Hmm.
My belief system wasn't there as yet. So my results wasn't that great at all. I used to talk to a lot of people and people wouldn't start.
Right.
But it's part of the process because the very beginning stages, if you have the belief system, you're gonna get the results. You're gonna get the results. So in the beginning, it wasn't easy. I got a lot of rejection, and the rejection built me. It built me to the person that I am today. So it's all part of the process. For those of you that are listening,
Right. So what helped to sustain you in that season of having to endure the rejection and not having the results that you want?
what sustained me was personal development.
Hey,
Personal
development.
got involved in the industry of network marketing in 2011. I thought it was 2012, but Dwayne actually corrected me. It's 2011. And the very first time I attended my first event, it was in 2012. And David Amaniti gave me an audio, conceive, believe, and achieve your way to the next level. And I kid you not, the number one reason why I was able to deal with the rejection, simple, because I was listening to a multi-millionaire and he was telling me, listen, rejection is going to come. People are going to tell you no. They're telling the person that you are today no, but they will not tell the person that you are 6 months from now, 12 months from now. So because I was hearing it over and over and over, and someone said no, I said, okay, he did say that they would say no. And,
right.
And he said rejection is the number one reason why a lot of people fail. So because I knew the enemy, I could have defeated the enemy.
Mm.
Yeah.
Good deal. So Someone asked, how can we establish relationships with key influencers or leaders within the organization and even in general that could help us to build the organization?
So connecting with influencer people?
Yeah. Or in this situation, you were able to meet Mr. Monitier, right? And through that relationship that was developed, he gave you an audio, right? So for someone now, how can they develop a relationship that could have an impact on their life like it did on yours?
Yeah, that's a good question. No, I will say this. I did not have a relationship with David and Monitier in the beginning, right? I didn't. But when he met me, he gave me the audio and that was it. You know, I never had like his phone number, didn't have contact with him, nothing like that.
Right.
But you can associate with people of influence through their audios. They say one of the best ways to get to know a man is through his books and his audios. So if you want to associate with influential people, just study the material. And that's what I did. I studied David Amithi's audio for 5 months straight, literally every day, because one of the biggest hurdles that most people are going to have to overcome is the way that they think. It's not that you can't do the work, it's just that the way you operate or your thinking patterns cause you to produce a particular result in your life.
Right.
And people have to overcome. So what I did, I drowned out my thought process. And I just started to adopt the way that he was thinking through the audio. And then that helped my belief system. And then what happened was, because I knew the rejection was going to come, and then he spoke about the work that was required to produce the result, that also fueled me. So I'm like, okay, I need to do the work. I need to show the plan. I need to show the plan. And then I became really good at presenting. You know, some people look at me to the end, they're like, wow, he's a great presenter. Do you know how many presentations I've done?
Right.
I don't know. I can't even count. It's too much.
Because there are some people who feel like I need to be able to work directly with or be mentored directly by a seven-figure earner in order for me to have success, right? But you're saying that initially it was the audio that did it for you.
Absolutely. The truth is, the information is already out there. The question is, are you going to take the information and implement the information? I can guarantee you this. You take the information that's already out there. I can guarantee this. I have nothing to hide. I've literally taught everything already. If you go and you utilize the resources that we have through FastStart.Center website, I literally give out the blueprint. Like David, you know this. I have nothing to hide. Right. Nothing. All the information is there. The question is, have you actually implemented the information? Have you actually followed instructions? It's really that simple.
Sweet. So what would you say initially was your aha moment that made you feel like, for sure, you know, me becoming a millionaire, whether it be TT or US dollars, it's done? What was that initial situation or experience for you?
When I went to David's home in Houston, Texas. That was the defining moment for me. Because it's one thing to hear somebody have the success and you hear how much money they're making, but it's another thing to experience it, right? And, you know, whatever you experience in life is what you believe. So yeah, I mean, I went to his home and I sat in his cars. Back then he had you'll probably wouldn't know this, but I can tell you. Back then he had a Bentley GT Continental. So I think it was like a 2009, 2010 he had. I was at his house in 2012. So I sat down in that. Bentley.
Right.
At that time I was driving a Lancer, CK2 Lancer.
Right.
By the way, for those of you that don't know, when I used to work in oil and gas, the car that everybody would want was an Evolution, a Mitsubishi Evolution. Anybody know that vehicle? Y'all know that, right? So like you work in oil and gas, you have to be driving a Mitsubishi, but you need an Evolution. So I could not afford the Evolution. So what I did is I took my CP2 Lancer and I went to one of those tint companies that tint your,
Right.
window.
Yes.
and I asked them to put a tint, but it's a gold tint with the number 7 on my 2 front doors, right? So left and right. So I had number 7 on the side of it to make it look fast. You know what I mean? I was already dream building back then.
Wow.
So but anyway, so back to David. So one day I sat in his Bentley, and then he bought a Lamborghini Murcielago. Sat in that.
Lamborghini Mercy.
Yes. I came back home. I came back home and I sat down in my Lance and I said, this is not it. This is not it. And here's the other thing too. This is what happened for me, and this is very big, and I hope everybody can get this, right? Now, this has nothing to do with ego or, I want to outdo my upline or anything like that. But what happened to me was this. I said, hold on. The same God that created him is the same God that created me, right? The same blood that flows through my veins is the same blood that flows through his veins. I said, and he made all this money and he didn't even finish college. I'm like, if he could do it, I could definitely do it. That's what happened to me, David. Real talk. I said, if he could get to $1 million a year, I could do it. And that is something I realize a lot of people, even now, it's almost like they operate like I'm superhuman or something like that. No, I ain't no different to you, right? The same God that created me is the same God that created you. If I could do it, you could do it, right? If I can make millions of dollars, you can make millions of dollars as well. Not if I have made millions, then you can make millions, right? It is what it is.
Right. Yeah. So right now, right, there's no all-white party, right, that someone can qualify for, attend. They may not be able to sit in their mentors, Bentley, GT Continental. What can someone do right now that can give them that experience similar to what you have that may have the same impact on them?
Well, if you're in Trinidad, you can come and sit in my Porsche. You could.
All right.
Come and experience that.
So they could message you and be like, yo, where you at?
You got to at least get to a certain level of success.
Right. Okay.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I would do that. Like you, David, you have your group. Let's just say you're mentoring someone and you want to bring them over close. And they go P1 or they go P2. You say, hey, listen, let's go meet.
Right.
So I would gladly do that.
Okay. All right. Good deal.
But
right.
Also, outside of my personal vehicle, you could go to the dealership. You can go. I just went to, even though I just bought a brand new Porsche, I just went to the dealership again this week to see the Taycan. I think that Taycan is the name of it. The new fully electronic sports car that Porsche has. And I went and I sat down in it. And I'm doing the same thing that I did in the beginning, because you always have to keep fueling your desire, right? You're not just building the business to make money. You're building the business to go and accomplish your dreams, your wants, your desires, So I still do the same thing.
Good deal.
Yeah, I still dream build
So they can go to a dealership, they can go to homes, definitely give themselves that experience at will, right? So that it could have the same impact on their life.
Absolutely.
Good deal. And what would you say your work ethic was like after that? So coming back from that experience, being able to sit down in that vehicle, you
Right.
know, what was your work ethic like? What was your mindset like? Would you say that there was like a major shift?
Yes. Yes. There was a major shift because what happens is there's a training on raising the bar, right? So
Mm,
it raise your belief. Once you raise your belief, which happened for me, what I experienced raised my belief system because a very big thing that a lot of people go through is okay, well, people are very, very concerned about the opinions of other people. So it's like they would share the business, but they are more concerned about what the person response about the business is. So let's just say the response is negative. See, you ain't one of them things, blah, 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 blah. And that mashes somebody's belief system up so much that they wouldn't even open them up to share the business with anyone.
wow.
When I experienced the reality, the end result, David, I came back home and I said to myself, if you don't see this, you need the Lord. That's what I said to my paradigm. I'm like, if you don't see there's something wrong with you, I no longer cared about the opinions of people who I was not willing to trade places with. So as soon as that happened for me, my work ethic went through the roof because I know for sure this thing is real. I know for sure it works, and I am willing to put the work in.
Right.
You know,
Wow. Thank you
yeah.
so much.
So as soon as you raise your belief, the next step is obviously once you raise your belief, your actions raise. The proof of belief is your actions.
Mm,
If you really believe, you're going to put the work in. So the real proof of belief, if somebody says, I believe, like for example, we have our leadership retreat in Dubai. Do you really believe that you're going to Dubai? If you really believe that you're going to Dubai, you're going to operate right now and you're going to put the work in right now because you already know that you're going to Dubai. Does that make sense? But if you really, really believe it, you're going to start putting in the work now. Yeah.
wow. Thank you so much for that.
And
So, go ahead. Sorry.
you raise your belief, you raise your belief, you raise your actions, you're going to raise your results.
All right. Good deal. So fast forward a little bit. So, you know, I was able to celebrate you as, you know, our homegrown diamond consultant, rookie of the year, right? You were able to have far above average level of success, right? Um, what are some of the things that you learned that you would recommend to someone beginning in the business, right? At that first level, experience of success, maybe some do's, some don'ts, right? I remember in the audio, you know, you may have shared, um, you know, maybe spending a little bit too much or something of that sort, leaving your job, anything at all that you would recommend. Let's say, you know, someone, they decide they want to go full time in this business, right?
Right.
What are some of the things you'd recommend that they do, they put in place prior to doing that?
Yeah, well, if you have plans to go full time, I highly recommend that you counsel with your upline. Counsel with the person that you call your coach and your mentor. If somebody is really your coach and your mentor, you're gonna communicate with them before you make a drastic move like that, you know? So for example, the counsel that I got, because I got to like $10,000 a month in a month and 8 days, but I was ready to leave my job. I was ready. As soon as I hit that, I called up David and the next day. I'm like, bro, I'm ready. He's like, calm down, calm down. He's like, calm down. Um, and he said, no, he said, you need to pay off all your debts
Mm,
first. And he said, you need to put away 1 full year. Like you need to save up 1 full year of your earnings, put that aside. And he said, on top of that, you need to be earning 4 times your monthly income for you to go full time.
right.
And I did that. I did that in 3 months.
Mm.
and did that in 3 months, and then I went full time. The truth is, you should not go full time if you don't have full time work ethic before you go full time. Because what you're going to end up doing, you're going to have more time in your hand, but not necessarily doing the work, because you actually have to put in the work. You don't have the luxury of sitting back and just expecting everything to happen to you. It doesn't work like that.
Right.
You know? So I had the work ethic of a full-time person, part-time. I'm talking about I was doing 3 presentations every evening, but that's part-time. But that is actually a full-time schedule. So I was doing that part-time. I already had that rhythm there, because remember, the work is almost like if you're going to work out at the gym, right? You have to have a certain level of endurance, right? When you're working out. I had that endurance of the work, full-time work, part-time, before I even went full-time. You know, so that is a big deal, because a lot of people, they go full-time prematurely, and they don't have the discipline, because this is the big part. By nature, most of us, the only way we work is if somebody tells us what to do. Because that's how we're raised. We're raised by someone telling you, go do this. You need to do this. You have a deadline, do this, do that. Matter of fact, most people on here, you operate better if someone tells you what to do in the business. But if you were left alone to do it, you wouldn't be able to do it. Because by nature, you're not fashioned like that. So yeah, you have to have more than the money that you put away. You actually need to have the discipline of putting in the work. And that is key. Like, I don't need, at this stage in my life, I don't need anybody to tell me that I need to do 3 presentations for the day. No, if I don't do 3 presentations for the day, I feel uncomfortable.
Right.
I can show you today. I already did 3 presentations for the day already today. You know, so it's a part of me now. It's not just a discipline for me now. The higher level of discipline is it a part of your habit? It's a part of my regimen. 3 presentations a day normal. I feel even more excited if I can do 5 presentations in a day. And there are days I do 5 and I do 7 presentations. So you have to have the work ethic. Gotta have that to go full time. If you don't have the work ethic, stay in your job. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell everybody here, stay in your job unless you talk to me or David. I can guarantee if you talk to David, he's gonna come and talk to me.
For sure.
But we know, you and I know, David, some people came to us after they went full time. And we have situations where somebody say, yeah, I'm full time. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I'm
One
like,
time someone was like, hey, name and background. Hi, my name is, John Doe, Platinum 600 full time.
We hear it in the presentation when we bring up people for testimonials. We hear people going full time in front of the group. I'm like, what is going on? It's crazy, bro. But yeah, that full time thing is a make or break, because this is what happens. Let me tell you guys freely. Being a full time entrepreneur, everybody loves the glitz and the glamours of it. Oh, I can wake up whenever I want. That's a lie. You can't wake up whenever you want. No.
I learned that.
You cannot wake up whenever you want, brother. You have to get up and clock in. You have to pay the price every single day. Every single day you got to pay the price. Because if you don't pay that price, brother, so guess what happens with a lot of people? So they go full time, and then the boat starts rocking a little bit. And let's just say they got to a certain level of income, and then the income drops. And all of a sudden, their belief drops. And because their belief drops, then the activity drops as well. And then guess what happens? The result drops as well. And then the ripple effect. Belief drops again, action drop. Then results drop. Belief drop, action drop. And it keeps going like that. Oh, until it gets too difficult, and then you come and you talk to the person who you should have talked to in the first place before you even go full time. And you say, what should I do now?
Mm.
You know? And it happened to me too. Like I can talk the way I'm talking now because it happened to me. The first time I went full time prematurely. All right. And just trust me on this. When your belief system get hit, you don't work. You say you're working, but you don't work. And even if you're working, you're not working with the belief. And that is my show. I went from making decent income to barely making $500 US for the month. Barely.
Wow.
I'm talking about, and I had rent. Look, here's how stupid this was. My rent was 5,000 TT a month, but I was making $3,000 a month. Plus, I had to buy food. Plus, I had a car note. Plus,
let me do the math.
He tried to do the math. Plus, I mean, sometimes my make $750 US and $500, and you know, so it was tough, bro. It was tough. It was tough. You know, and my wife, I think my wife was working, so you know, she was able to pay something or whatever, but it was tough. It was tough. I know about that. Y'all know the whole story. It's in my audio as well, but it was tough. It was tough. And I had to learn the lesson the hard way. I had to swallow my pride, David, because my ego was saying, well, listen, you left your job already, good job. You can't go back and ask for a job again because now you're going to look like a failure. So I was more concerned about what people had to say about me than me actually sorting out myself, getting my bills back in order and putting food on the table. I was more concerned about that. I had to humble myself. I had to eat some humble pie. That right there was also a very defining moment for me as well. And yeah, I had to go back and get a job. Wow. So the second time around, I said, I'm gonna do it the right way. And the second time around, I had better counsel. I'll be honest with you, I'll say that I had better counsel the second time around. David and Maniti did a really, because in all honesty, like if someone who you're working with, they just see you as someone who could produce for them, they'll just allow you to go full time. But David, he cares about me, all right? And he said, listen, no, now's not the right time, you know. And, you know, listen to him. David Maloney sends, you know, I mean, I show you some stuff privately. Listening to that gentleman has paid me a lot of money, brother. I will keep listening. I will keep, look, let me tell you something. Look, I tell people this, I have a statement, it's on my IG page. Wealth is in an instruction. Wealth is in an instruction.
Wow.
If you are very good at following instructions, you're on your way to your wealthy place.
Wow.
On your way.
So check this out, right? People may look at you right now, oh, he does 3 presentations a day, 5 presentations a day, this, that, the other, life of a believer, right? Life of a believer. And they may not know that you also had a season where you weren't believing as strong, right? So what helped to sustain you, right? Someone asked a question in your season of sowing, you know, where you feel like you're not where you think you would have been, and you may be seeing other people progressing, right? So what helped you during that season? What were some of your actions and activities that helped to sustain you long enough till you got that breakthrough?
My affirmations, like speaking of my goals, and really trusting God too, you know, because you have to know that your time is going to come. When, you don't know, but you always have to be prepared, you know. So I have an audio that I still listen to this day, and I gave it to David Maloney. It's How to Eliminate Doubt and Unbelief from Ivy Hillen. He's a bishop, and I've listened to personal self-development and listened to belief, and very few people were able to really resonate with me, but he did, because obviously I grew up in church all my life. So the way he broke it down from a biblical standpoint really helped me to really believe, and yeah, I basically implemented everything he was teaching in the audio, and my wife and I did it together. We would say, we are the head and not the tail. Our cupboards are full. We owe no man nothing. I mean, I have the cue cards still to this day. Look, I have it right here. Look, I still have them to this day. All right. Matter of fact, this is what helped me. Let me see if I can read it for you guys. All right. David, you would know it too.
I stand in a place.
I stand in a place of exceptional favor with God and man. I have been given all things pertaining to life and to godliness. Jesus became poor so that I can be abundantly supplied. I have exceptional faith to believe in God's willingness to deliver and to manifest every promise. Nothing is too hard or impossible for God. I have an exceptional Father who is willing to give me not only my needs, but my desires, dreams, and wants. I have given the tithes of my increase, and I have sown targeted seeds in abundance for a specific increase. I declare the manifestation of exceptional finances to buy those things my family needs and desires, and to give as my God directs, to lay up for my future. My eyes are open to discover the hidden riches and opportunities others overlook. My steps are being ordered into the path of abundance and extreme surplus. I have an exceptional future guaranteed by my Father, who freely gives me the desires of my heart, and therefore I have ultimate confidence in him. Jesus is my righteousness and my peace. That part is big. Peace is important. And my peace, and therefore I am not condemned by my forgiven past sins. So I choose not to worry and to receive stress in financial matters. Every time I read that part, I was crying. I used to cry even more because I was under financial stress.
Wow.
But that part, and I should read that part over. I choose not to worry. I choose not to worry, because worry is a sin. I choose not to worry and receive stress in financial matters. I know I am in a season of wealth transfer. So I have exceptional fortitude to resist the fear of a lack, as the wealth of the wicked is being transferred to me and righteous others. I have exceptional focus as I see myself in abundance. I see myself debts canceled. I see myself enjoying supernatural blessings of the Lord. I declare money comes to me freely to obey God and to do so quickly. I declare I am financially blessed beyond measure, more money in my hands than I have ever
in a long time. Sweet. Wow. So I literally
every day. When things ain't going great, every day. Read it over and over. And we hungry and we reading it. Can't pay the rent and reading it. The bank just called me and we're reading it. Over and over.
Wow. So I had a aha moment this week myself, right? One morning before I ate breakfast, like God told me, read John chapter 3 to chapter 5, right? And in there's a story, right? So let me just find it. I wouldn't read the entire thing, but right. So John 4:47, right? There was a man, right? A certain nobleman, okay? And his son was about to die, right? So he basically wanted Jesus to heal his son, right? And then Jesus said to him, go thy way, thy son liveth. Right? But he was in doubt, but he left. Right? Then when he was approaching home, his servants came running to him and say, hey, your son lives. Right? And then he asked them, at what time of day did his health improve? At what time of day was he healed? And he backtracked. The time that they told him that his son was healed was the same time Jesus said, go thy way, thy son liveth. Right? So there are times where we may be speaking the right words,
right,
but we may not see it right away. Right? How would you speak about that as it relates to your personal experiences?
Yeah, well, the truth is, if you think about a seed, if you plant a seed in the ground, the harvest doesn't show up right away. Right? It doesn't. You have to plant the seed, you have to water it, you have to nurture it, and then each seed has a time when a harvest will be produced. So, you have to be patient. You just have to be patient. If you keep listening to the right information over and over and over, you will know that it is going to happen. You just get the encouragement that it's going to happen. If you stay around the right people, this is another very big benefit. When you're going through a certain situation in your life, you need to be around the right people. So another thing that helped me, David, was the fact that I was close to David, or I communicated with a winner consistently. It helped me to stay the course. It's almost like the future reality that I wanted, I kept it as close to me as possible through association, So yeah.
Wow. And someone asked the question, can you build a big business without personal development?
No, you can't.
Why is that?
Simple, because you could only build a big business based on your growth. You have to grow for your business to grow. It's not about, you have to grow. You will not be able, even if you get a group, you wouldn't be able to keep a group because you have nothing to share with them. Personal development is number one. You have to work as hard on yourself as you work on your business. Matter of fact, you have to work even harder on yourself than you work on your business. Doesn't mean that you stop doing the work, but you have to be mindful that I need to keep growing every single day, and I need to be doing the work as well. Wow. Right? I'm not talking about sitting down and becoming a personal development junkie. Yeah? I'm talking about finding, and I'm gonna give you guys on this call here, I'm gonna give you a big tip. You don't need a lot of audios. You do not. Some people listen to too much audios. I'm gonna be the person to tell you that tonight. You don't need a lot. You need one. And you need to study it until you master every single thing that was said in the audio. If Bob Proctor could be listening reading the same book for 50 or 60 years, then you could do it with one audio. And he's still getting revelation today after, I don't know, is it 60 years a day? After 60 years, he is still getting revelation on the same information. Some people say to listen to my audio, and I'm looking at them like, and then guess what happens with a lot of people in the industry, David? I'm gonna tell you right now. This is a big reason why a lot of people don't get success. They start going all over the place to get information. And the information is actually right in front of you. My success came because of simplicity. I listen to one voice and I follow instructions from the person that has the results that I want. It's really that simple. I don't be going all over the place. I don't do that. I don't do it, and I don't recommend people do it. I studied my mental studies. So David introduced me to Bob Proctor. I listened to Bob. I listened to David, I listened to Bob. And whoever he listens to, I listen to.
Right. Whoever he listens to. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I don't be going all over the place.
Right. Okay. So
but
go ahead.
sorry, especially in the beginning, you gotta find out one thing and you have to master it because you're not gonna get the results until you master the instructions. It's almost like I gave you the instructions. Go put 12 to 15 people in the business in 30 days. You're gonna compress time frames, right? And you're going to get enough people in so you can get the necessary result in 30 days. And you haven't done this yet. And you go asking somebody else, how do I already build the business? I gave you the instruction on how to go P1 already. The question is, have you done it? Have you done it? No, you haven't done it. Then go do it. And even if you attempted to do it and you gave it your all and you didn't like do it exact, you will still be respected for putting in your all. But don't try to, you know what I mean? Like try to find some kind of new source. There's no new source, ladies and gentlemen. There ain't no new source. The source is in you mastering the information. That's the source.
Correct.
The secret source. You know, some people always looking for secret source, secret information.
Yeah.
Something real special tonight. Watch. You'll see. Same thing.
There's something that I came up with, right, that I plan to teach in depth when I host the first 7-figure mentorship call for the company, I Am Mastery Academy, right?
I love it. I love it.
And that is commitment versus convenience.
I love it. Sounds good.
Because we might hear something, right? We might hear go 12 to 15 wide, and we may say, that is kind of hard to do. It's not that convenient, right? So let me see what else I can do. Let me see how else I can get the results I want. Right? As opposed to someone who's committed. Okay, last month I didn't do the 12 to 15. I will get it done this month.
Yeah,
for sure. You know. So I'm glad that you touched on that. And you mentioned Mr. Bob Proctor. We have the pleasure of having him in our company, right? So how important would you say, you know, paying that extra money, I believe it's $29 US to have access to his mentorship, right? How important would you say that is?
I think you went to one of the trainings with me.
Yes, right? I did.
Look, you remember how much you paid for that?
Yes.
Yeah, you paid
$1,000 US plus.
Right. Plus, you have to pay for your flight. You have to pay for hotel. So at least you spent like at least $2,500 to $3,000 thereabouts.
Right.
Right. So I invested that not once, twice. I went to 4 paradigm shifts. I think it's 4 or 3 thereabouts. And you just have to pay $29. I mean, it's nothing. If you cannot invest $29 into yourself, you are not going to get rich. Let me say that one more time. If you cannot invest $29 into yourself to learn from someone who's coached, mentor, set thousands of people to multi-millionaire status by unlocking their mind, you don't deserve to get rich. I'm telling you that right now. You should be, well, I don't have the money, find it. I don't care, find it.
Right.
You understand why I'm going to, look, if you really want it, you're going to get the money. I was broke before. I know about not having, and when I want something, I found the money. I'm telling you. I don't sugarcoat that at all.
Right.
Yeah, I don't sugarcoat that at all.
So as you say that, right, I remember the first event that I went to, right? You were like, David, you need to attend an international event.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm like, all right, it sounds cool, but I could hear these people on YouTube. I can go on SoundCloud and get the same information, right? What would you say to someone who is thinking like that right now?
You got to follow instructions. Look, this thing is life. I made a post about it the other day. I'm like, life is really simple. People make it more difficult than it really is. Can you follow instructions? If the person that has exactly what you want says, do A, B, and C, and whatever they're telling you, is not something that is going to be of a detriment to you. They're only going to tell you something that's going to take you closer to you achieving your goals and your dreams. Why won't you listen? Right? But, you know, I heard something from Bob the other day, bro, and it really rocked me. He said, people hear with their conscious mind, but they listen with their paradigms. I said, God.
Wow.
That one rocked me because I'm like, how can people not get it? But the problem is they hear, but they listen really with their paradigm. So with their paradigm, because of the way that they think, they don't know how to follow instructions. And I understand. I understand. I understand.
Wow. So you would say, or would you say that a huge factor in someone sticking to the script is trust, like trusting that the instruction will work?
Trust is big. Trust is big because if there's no trust, you're not going to listen. You know, like in the beginning, I had to overcome the lack of trust. It's only when I started to trust David and I knew, all right, he really checks me, you know, like that's when following instructions became easier. That's
right.
the yeah.
Right. Yeah. So what were some of the things that he did for you that helped you to build your trust? Yeah.
Like the little things, like how he gave me the audio. Little things.
Right.
Like it was really little things. Like I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was a combination of things, little things that he did that really, you know what, this gentleman really checks me, you know?
Right.
And then I also had to come to the understanding that, listen, if this gentleman really has what I want, I need to listen. I need to trust the information. You know, God literally put the example right in front of my eyes. So I just have to follow. And I decided to trust. I also decided to trust because trust goes both ways. Trust is not a one-way street.
Right.
Like one person alone can't make you trust them. You have to decide to trust them as well. And I made that decision.
Good deal, good deal. Because that was the one thing I would say that helped me to make that decision to attend my first international event, trusting you that you wouldn't lead me astray and trusting that this would actually help me to have the success that I want, you know? And I see many times that keep a lot of people back, that lack of trust, you know? So for someone who wants to build a large organization, understanding the fact that trust is the foundation. I'll never forget the first retreat that I attended in Houston.
Yeah.
Right. And Mr. Munitier drew the triangle, right? And the foundation is trust. Right. So how does one build trust in an organization?
How do you build trust within an organization?
Yeah. Or let's say I want to build an organization. What can I do to build trust, to build an organization that has a solid foundation of trust?
Well, number one, you have to be the person of integrity. You have to be a person of integrity. Your yes has to be your yes. Your no has to be your no. A very big part of you developing trust within your organization is, are you a trustworthy person? So you must first be the trustworthy person in order to build a group that is built on trust. So yeah, I mean, I could tell you this, and David knows this. Like one of the things that I'm very, very proud of is that I operate with a certain level of integrity. You know, my yes is my yes, my no is my no. I don't play around with money. Especially in a business like this, I've seen, and you know this too, David, a lot of people destroyed their business because of not handling money the right way. And people's money the right way, you know? So it's huge. Like, I don't play around with that at all. I don't. And that builds trust. And trust is something that is is hard to earn and very easy to lose. So when you work on developing trust within the organization and trust with people, once people trust you, they're gonna go a long way with you, long way. But if people don't trust you, then you're gonna have a shaky organization. You know, you're gonna have a shaky organization. So yeah, time is key, and you're gonna develop it over time. It took some time for me to develop that level of trust from people. And when I didn't have all the results, I always edified the person that I was working with, so that people know, all right, I trust that he may not have all the answers, but he is connected to someone that has the answers. You know, so that's also a big part as well.
That's good. Okay. So now,
no, go ahead.
Right. So let's fast forward a little bit now. So it was September of 2016, right? We came back from a big event. We are about to, you know, light things up. And then you got a phone call, right? How easy was it to make that transition? There may be someone right now who may be faced with a similar situation. They are thinking, okay, is this the best move for me, right? What made it easy for you, if it was easy at all, to make that transition and go hard while not doubting as much about the same decision that you're making?
Well, you have to recognize who God sent in your life. You know, I know for sure God has sent David Emenike into my life, without a doubt. There's no doubt about that in my mind. And the fruit is there to prove that as well, you know, after so many years. But yeah, I mean, I trusted David. And you know,
trust again.
Yeah, trust. Big. Dive head first. Like I tell people all the time, you know, I found a clip on I don't know where I found it. And I saw like a guy, he was on a mountaintop and he just ran and then jumped off, free fall. And the best illustration I can give in my mind to people is that when I joined the company, the instructions that David gave me, I free fall with the instructions. Literally, I did not second guess anything. I didn't question anything. And I just went and I did exactly what he told me to do. Exactly. Wow. And I free fall. And yeah, he said, listen, that first one, he said, you want to break a record in this company? He said, you want to break a record in this company? You want to go chairman, the fastest in the company? I said, yes. He said, great. He said, you need to put. So here's, this is what happened. So I'm seeing David. I'm saying, I want to put 20 people in the business. I know for sure I could put 20 people in the business in the first month, right? He said, you want to do 40 personals in 1 month. So my paradigm tried to say, like, this kind of seems out of my league. Because in my previous company, it took me 12 months to put 40 people in the business.
Wow.
And this gentleman is telling me to do it in 1 month.
Wow. So it was not convenient for you at all?
No, brother, it was not convenient at all. I could have said, oh, you don't know I still have a job? You don't have responsibilities? I could have said that. I said, all right. If he said, and I really wanted to break a record. I really wanted to come in and because David, I said, if I'm going to do this again, because I don't consider myself to be a network marketer or nothing like that, right? I consider myself to be a gentleman who has decided to leverage this industry to create wealth. So I said, if I'm going to do that again, I already have doubters. I already have people who are the naysayers. I said, if I'm going to do this, I have to do it and I have to come out with some noise. And I went on the ground. I didn't make a post. Some people say, well, posting on social media. I understand. But I did not make a post on social media until I went Chairman. Some of you all here might be shocked by that. I did not make one post on Facebook, not one about the business. No one knew on social media that I was doing the business until I hit Chairman 10.
Wow. Because some people think that they need 5,000 followers, 10,000 followers.
No, you don't.
So you just went hard.
Hard.
Belly to belly.
Hard. And back then we didn't have Zoom. I think we were using Google Hangouts.
Right.
Yeah, 2016, Google Hangouts. You remember that?
Yeah, I do. Google Hangouts. There was also another one, Ovu.
Ovu, yeah. We did a couple calls on Ovu too. Ovu. But I know for sure I was doing like 3 calls a day, part-time, every day. In work, I was talking to people about the business. I was hiding, going in the car, WhatsApp, what's that? Yeah, WhatsApp. We have WhatsApp then.
BBM. BlackBerry Messenger.
No, wait. You see that?
BBM. You was pinging.
No, I think I had an iPhone. I had a
around that time, yeah.
I had a broken iPhone. It was an iPhone 4.
Wow.
Hold on.
Oh, you still have it?
I do. This was the phone I started IML with. All right. This is the phone I started IML with. Now, you wouldn't see it, but right here, this side of the screen was already, this screen is cracked all the way down right here. The screen was cracked all the way down. I used to use the phone case to keep it together.
Wow.
This is right here. What is this? This is a 4, right? I can't remember. I think this is a 4.
Wow. Okay.
And I had these 2 phones. I think this is a 4 and this is a 5. This is the 4 and this is the 5. Yeah.
Okay.
Still have them. Apple products really go up, really, like they don't have sugar. Look at it. I still have this. Let's keep it for like I don't know, for what reason I still have it.
Right. All right. Yeah. So you now coming into a new company, right? A new industry. Before we were a product-based business. Now we are more a services-based business, right? I don't think you ever placed a trade before, right? I don't think you didn't even know what MetaTrader 4 was, right?
You didn't know what a broker was.
But where did you get your confidence from to be able to go so hard, right, into thinking that you can actually get 40 people in 1 month?
Number one, I believe in who created me. I know God has created me for greatness. I am great. I believe in myself. And then I believe in who I was looking with. Like, looking with David Amnesia here. Chairman's already a multi-millionaire. If you don't sign up with me, something wrong with you. No, I didn't tell anybody that. But that was my mindset.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So now, right, fast forward a little bit, right? So you trade, right? Yeah. Some people think you only do Zoom presentations, but they don't know you're a big trader, right? They don't know about the 5-figure days and stuff like that, right? So what would you say is your favorite strategy, favorite tool, favorite educator to follow? Tell us about.
More so today, I'm really focused on crypto.
Right.
So I love Picasso, love Nick Gomez, and I can trade. I mean, I can draw up my zooms. I mean, I know what I'm looking for in the market. So when they send the trade, is confirmation from what I already have.
Right.
So yeah, and
right.
Yeah, just.
And you trade USDT also, right?
I trade USDT also, yeah.
So what would you say to someone who thinks that they need to have success in trading first before building a business? Because to me, you had your first 10K a month through
Without,
networking,
yes.
right, than through trading. So what would you say to someone who wants to learn to trade first before they, you know, go hard like you, go all in like you did?
You know, trading takes time. So, you know, if you come in with a little bit of income, you're not going to have success in trading.
Mm.
I'm telling you right now, because you're going to blow some accounts.
Mm.
The question is, can you refund the account? Again, with risk-free money. Some people don't even have risk-free money to start. You know what I mean? So yeah. I mean, the biggest thing in trading is that, do you have enough capital? And most people just don't have enough capital. That's why the compensation plan is there. And I don't feel bad about saying that at all. Now, if you have the money to invest and to focus on learning and demo for 2, 3 months, 4 months. And you know what, David, you remember how we used to really make people demo like 3, 4 months before they actually start trading live? You know, we used to keep people in the business longer that way.
Right.
And they actually became more successful in trading that way.
Mm.
Facts.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So, but anyway, so yeah, I mean, you don't, to answer your question, I would say to anyone right now, you have to at least be very good at connecting people to the system, because the system is sufficient. We have so many live classes. We have so many tools today. Like for example, you know, Elon Tone and another gentleman took so much time, and they put together, along with our help, they put together an amazing fast start system for all new customers. So we literally have a system. When someone signs up, you have to walk them through it, and they will get from start to finish to be properly connected to the system. Once you're good at connecting people to the system and then making sure that they are plugged in, then you have done an amazing job, because the company they pay people to teach. They pay people to develop software and strategies. You have to be good at showing them how to use it and making sure that they are plugged into it. But you don't have to be a master to be able to build a group. That is a lie. That is not the truth.
Right.
If you are good at it, yes, you're going to be able to help people fast track the process much sooner. But they still, if they really want to have long-term success in trading, they're going to have to put in the work. They're going to have to at least, like you're telling me you don't have enough time to attend the class? Like you paid $235 for the classes and you don't have time to attend the class? Okay, I understand if you don't have time, but are you using the products? You know what I mean? Right. So you actually have to use what you paid for. Like I tell people all the time, you're looking at your sponsor, well, you need to sit down and teach me everything. No, you paid for the go live. You paid for the software. Go attend the class.
Right.
And you're going to make money. It's like, this thing cannot be easier. You can't get it easier than that. Go attend the sessions and you're going to be fine. You have to put in the time.
Wow. Yeah. So for you, who came into the business, you didn't know anything about trading. Would you say one thing that definitely helped you to build how you're able to build is edification? Edification.
Now remember, David, we have to also be honest with people. I came in with experience.
Right.
You know, so I didn't start from not knowing how to build. I knew how to build a team. You know, so I had the skills, I had the edification, I had the, you know, I knew how to present. I knew how to present, but I didn't know the information. So like my first few presentations here wasn't that great anyway, but I was just looking and reading from what was on the slides. But yeah, edification is big.
So for someone,
let me say this right here. I was able to recruit everybody I recruited because of how well I edified David. Because look, I was telling people this. I'm like, listen, do you want to come in at the top? Or do you want to come in at the bottom? But this is what I said. I said, listen, myself and my coach, we're going to decide who is going to get the top positions in my network. I was telling folks that. And I was like, shucks, David, I need to go be positioning people. Like, no, we need to get this. No.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Created that sense of urgency. That works. People are not motivated by the possibility of gain. They're motivated by the fear of loss. You want to get people to sign up quick? Make sure that they feel like they're about to lose something. I just gave you a huge tip right there. I still do today. All right. Like I have someone who's pending registering. I said, hey, listen, I got some people that I can place under you right now. I said, but if you stick, you're going to miss that opportunity. So.
Right. And there are people who have success trading.
Right.
And they think that building the business is not for them. So you, being someone who have success building the business, right, developing leaders, and also building a brokerage account, right, would you say that there's a major difference between the mindset required for both?
There is a difference, but the number one difference is you have to have a heart for people. You can't be selfish. You know what I mean? Trading, in my honest opinion, trading is a selfish thing. There are a lot of selfish people in trading. Thank God, iMaster Academy has created an environment that we share a lot, But by nature, people by nature, it's not just trading, people by nature are selfish people. Just think about if you're in trading and you're having success in trading, think about if the person did not invite you, if you would be trading.
Right.
So just think about that. All you have to do, now that you have success, just pay it forward. Pay it forward. Hey, go share the money. You don't even have to go recruit a big team. Just go help 2 or 3 people. You know what I mean? Just help. Just extend it. Okay, you're good at it. If you're good at it, extend it to 2 or 3 people and help 2 or 3 people to now get connected to this amazing community that you're connected to. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Right. Okay.
That's how I see it.
Right. All right. So as you're now talking about sharing it with other people and empowering them, what is maybe one story that you can think of through trading that really made you feel like, yo, this is huge? Do you have any story like that? Maybe yours or within the organization or the company, someone who, given their situation, given their experiences, they were able to learn to trade, grow their accounts, withdraw the money, and accomplish a goal?
I mean, bro, we have so many examples of that. So many of it that built our belief system. I remember when we just started and someone in our team made $50 US for the day. When we did the math on that, we was like, oh, $50 times 7, right? How much is that? That's
$350.
Yeah, $350.
Yeah.
That is almost what I used to get paid at my engineering job.
Wow.
For the day. That's big money. Like, how many people make $350 for the day? So we was like, yo, you can make $50 US with Henry Moon was selling that?
Wow.
What would life be like if you could just make an extra $50 US a day? What would that do for you?
Right.
That got me fired up. It wasn't even like the big money got me fired up. It was seeing, I'm like, the average person, can they make $50, $100?
$50. That's it. $50 to $100.
Bro.
So you're looking at
that got me fired up.
Extra $50 a day, that's $1,000 US a month.
That's big. That's somebody's salary.
Correct.
And most people just want an extra $7,000. Most people want an extra $1,000 US for the month. Like real talk, if someone who has a job, they can just make an extra $1,000 US a month easy, they would love that. That's why I still to this day, I still talk about, hey, what about if I help you make an extra? Ask Faith Rocker. Faith is on here. I did a launch call for one of my new personals. He's from Barbados. And Faith was on the call to do a testimonial for me. And I said to them at the end, I said, hey, listen, if I can help you to earn an extra $1,000 a month minimum over the next 3 months minimum, would you be interested in that? That's why I still do it to this day, because everybody does not want to become a millionaire. But some people just want to make extra $1,000 a month. My goal is to help as many people make an extra $1,000 US a month. That's all I care about. And then I'll find the people that want to become multimillionaires, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we have a retreat coming up, not a retreat, sorry, a training coming up, right?
Yes.
And to qualify, you have to enroll 3 people between now and the event. Is it April the 4th? April the 4th?
April the 4th is the event, yes.
Right. So someone who wants to get to Platinum 150 by Monday, right? They're on this call. You know, they may have just registered. I know we also have guests on the call who are not in the company. What would you recommend someone do right now or starting right now that would help them to get 3 people in the business by Monday, this Monday coming?
If they want to get 3 people in the business by Monday?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I thought that I didn't kind of make some noise. Sorry about that. They want to get 3 people in the business by Monday. Today is Friday. Just go expose 30 people to the business, peak interest, share the plan, do a 3-way phone call with 30 people between now and Monday, and you're gonna recruit 3 people minimum.
Right.
That's it.
And if they trust you, if they're committed to doing the work, it's done, basically.
It's done. And if they believe it, it's done.
Mm.
I'm so happy and grateful now that I so and so, whatever your name is, I personally enrolled 3 brand new customers by Monday. You speak it 100 times a day and go share the plan. You're gonna get it.
Right. Okay.
Done.
And recently, you and I, we had a conversation about our repetitious information, right? And speaking the affirmations, right? And I was telling you about how I'm now seeing it a lot more in my life coming to pass, right? Mm-hmm. And one small thing I overlooked was the emotional aspect when saying it, right? Mm-hmm. You also spoke about just now when you were reading off the card, when you were talking about you will not be condemned by a forgiven past, or you know that line? Yeah. Right, by my forgiven person, so I choose not to worry and receive stress in financial matters, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Right. So how important is it when you're speaking those goals, when you're speaking the affirmations, right? How important is it to add that emotional factor to it?
That is everything, bro. This is extremely important. It's almost like you what's a good analogy? If you put a seed in the ground and you give it no sunlight, no water, it's almost like you're putting a seed on concrete and expecting it to grow. Mm. That's what happens with your affirmations and no emotions. You've got to put the emotions in there. Guys, let me tell you this right now. Let me tell you this. You have to be happy and grateful before the thing shows up. You really do. Like I'm so excited about my next income goal. I'm so excited about that. I'm so excited about 18 brand new Chairman 10s and above in our organization by July the 6th, 2021. I am so happy about that right now. I am so fired up about that. So when it happens, I'm not going to be surprised. It's not because when I'm waiting on the 18 brand new Chairman 10s to get excited. No, I'm already excited. I've already received it now. So when it shows up, I'm expecting it. Does that make sense? Let me give you guys a big tip here. So David Amnesia, he has an affirmation. I'm so happy and grateful now that I make $1 million a day. The first time I saw the goal, I said, this dude has lost his mind. Because this brother is now believing for Not $1 million a month, you know. Not $1 million a week, you know. He's believing for $1 million a day.
Wow. Every 24 hours.
Every 24 hours. And when, you know, he's hitting it now, you know, regular, every day. So when it just started happening, I said to him, I said, are you excited? Like, how do you feel?
Right.
He said, bro, I feel normal. He said, I received it a long time ago.
Wow.
I was excited a long time ago. When he said that, I said, there you go, there you go, there you go.
Wow.
When he said, I said, there you go. I said, yeah, felt it. I said,
wow.
He said, I was excited a long time ago, bro. I received it a long time ago. I said, yes, that's it. Many of you on here, if you could start accepting it now, that you are already at that place that you desire. If you want to get the chairman, you should already be excited and happy now. I am so happy and grateful now. That is the blessing. I am so happy and grateful now. Right this moment, now. In the midst of my challenges, I am so happy and grateful now.
Wow.
That's it right there. You gotta, and look, when you're happy and grateful now, your energy, your vibration, you know what I mean? It switches. And when you start feeling good, then you start doing the business, and everything starts, you know what I mean? Everything starts, you see everything piece by piece, it starts coming together. You gotta be happy and grateful now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, fire up.
You know something interesting? So my personal experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I smashed chairman, or the organization smashed chairman. It was a Monday, right? So right before the cycle ends, right? It was on the 30th of September. Okay. So that the monthly commission, right? I was able to get that, right? And people were calling me, right? Telling me, hey, congratulations. How does it feel? Right? And I mean, you know, this is something I've been working on for so long. It has not been an easy ride for me, right? But I was just so normal.
Right.
And some people were like, are you for real? Like, what's going on with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the people who did not hit chairman, they were asking me, how does it feel, right? But then I realized everybody else who already at chairman and chairman 10 and above, they were basically telling me, I knew you were gonna get done.
Mm-hmm.
And that really made me realize that there is a frequency. Chairman 10 is a frequency, right?
It is.
And people who are not there, they want to know how it feels. And people who are already there, it's because they already know how it feels, right? So how does someone get up to that chairman 10 frequency so that they can feel how it feels, so that when they actually hit chairman and that rank report updates, they realize, it's normal because they have already been living there.
Yeah, well, it comes through your five senses. You have to allow your five senses to operate like a chairman 10. So what are you seeing? What are you saying? You know, what are you feeling? You know? So like, do you have your goal card? All right. Bob Proctor speaks about this all the time. You can touch your goals anytime you want. Right here. Right? You can touch your goals anytime you want. Do you have it written down?
$500,000.
There you go. Where you can touch it. You can, because he says, with your own handwriting, you touch it, it's almost like that electricity runs through, that vibration runs through your veins, runs through your hands, and gets into your subconscious mind. You can touch it, right? Can you taste it? Can you taste it? Yeah, you can taste it. You can taste it in your mind. You can taste the type of food you're gonna buy at Chairman 10, you know? It's different. Like I'm gonna tell you right now, one of the struggles I had, to be real, is when I got free, I realized I could buy anything I want to eat. That was like a big deal for me because at one time, I went through a season in my life. I was eating black beans and hash brown. Like I could only eat this because I could only afford this. So anyway, you can taste it, and yeah, you can see it. You can see a goal every single day. You can speak it every single day. You can,
Right.
You could
Right.
do it.
And I remember a conversation you and we had recently, right? So it was at the beginning of the year, and we were talking about my income goal for the year, right? $500,000. And then I messaged you and I asked you, okay, how do I experience that, right? Because that's a figure, you know, right? Especially my background and stuff, very, very normal, very chill, right? $500,000, like, whoa, right? And then at the same time, we were on a mentorship call with Mr. Immunity.
Right.
And he gave the answer, right? In your mind, right? Through your imagination, right? So you getting to this point, like, how often did you like utilize that mental faculty of your imagination to get to where you are today? And I know that you're still doing it, you know, to get to the next level. So we have people on the call. How then can they start really focusing on their imagination to increase that frequency to get to their goals?
Yeah, you got to do it. You have to use that higher faculty because you can go there before you get there. You can go there in your mind before you get there. Some people don't even spend the time to visualize. You can literally create anything on the canvas of your imagination. So like just now, before I came on the call, I was doing it. Well, what was I doing? Okay, I'm gonna tell you. So I put my son to sleep. So I always put him to sleep. So he goes, he kisses mom, kisses sister, and then I sing to him for him to go to sleep. Well, yeah, sing, and then I pray, right? And after I pray, so he's in that mode of falling asleep. And while I'm waiting for him to fall asleep, I use that time and I visualize eating chairman times on the canvas of my imagination. Like I create create an event, and I'm seeing the people, and I'm just like playing that in my mind. I just do it. I do it all the time. Matter of fact, every single day when I do that with him, I try to do that while he's not, and I kind of visualize and I speak my goals, and quiet day, I'm actually quiet day, I was just speaking. I'm so happy and grateful now, and I'm feeling it. And I do something, and it's almost like when I'm speaking it, I get into the emotion of it so much that I feel like you ever felt like, I don't know if it's not excited little scale, but like chills just come over my body when I speak in my goals. That's to tell you how clear I've seen it. That's to tell you how much I know without a shadow of a doubt. Like I get chills on my back and my spine when I'm speaking it. That's the thing I'm serious with. So I do that all the time. You have to tap into your higher faculties. You have to, imagination is the secret. Imagination is what built the world. God gave us that higher faculty, and if you use it, you tap into it. You can go create anything you want. Anything you want.
Right. Wow. Okay. So, during this conversation, we spoke a lot about, your experiences, the things that you went through, right? So some key words that really stood out to me was trust.
Yes.
Right. So the success, the above average success started when trust started.
Yes, sir.
Right. When belief was built. Right. And then you were committed. So you did the work. So what was once difficult for you, right? Getting the no's, getting the not right nows, getting the that's a scam and this, that, the other, those things don't work. At one time it was hard for you, but it's no longer hard because you have the belief, you understand that there's a process, because you were on personal development, listening to the audio, conceive, believe, achieve, right? And then you just went all out and you did the work, right? So share with us, because I believe someone on the call, they asked, what is your day like? right? So someone wants to know, what is your day like? So I would add to that, right? So what was your day like when you were doing this part-time, right? Because people think that they need to be full-time in order to have success.
That's a lie.
Right? So share with us, what was your day like part-time and what is your day like now?
My day like part-time was wake up in the morning, on my way to work, thinking about the business, on work, working, but thinking about the business. Come back home, work the business, go to sleep, midnight, wake up very early, go to work, same thing. I would go to work and try to do everything quick so I can finish faster, so I can go and work the business.
Right.
I was full-time on my, I was like physically there full-time on my job, but I wasn't part-time on my fortune. I was full-time on my fortune.
Right.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. Someone asked, okay, that 40 a month, right? Where did you get them from?
40 personal?
Right? Yeah, 40 personals, especially when you did not use social media. Because
my contact base.
Pardon?
From my contact base, my phone.
Right. Because this person paid for ads. They do a lot of posts on social media.
Hey, those work. It works. No, it does work. I'm not saying that it doesn't work. I'm just saying, but I didn't do it. But it works. I have plenty of people in my team that do that.
Right.
They run a lot of ads. That's how they recruit a lot of people.
Okay. Okay, no problem, no problem.
I'm looking for something here.
Right. No problem. I'm now checking the chat and I see that some people have questions. What advice would you give to someone who desires to become successful in the industry, but each time you encounter distrust by those who others look up to as leaders? Yeah.
Repeat the question one more time.
What advice would you give to someone whose desire is to become successful in the industry, but each time you encounter distrust by those who others look up to as leaders?
Well, if there is someone that you can't trust, you can go and find the person above that person. So that's what I would do. Okay. I experienced something like that in my previous company.
Okay.
And yeah, I just went and I built a relationship with the person above that person.
Right. So there's always someone that you can connect with.
Always. If it's not that person, not your direct upline, go find the next person. Go find the next person. Right.
Okay. Okay. And someone asked a question, I have it written down here, like, why Dubai? Why Dubai? Yeah. Why should someone push to qualify to go to Dubai when we could have gone to Pigeon Point?
Because Dubai is on everyone's dream board, on everyone's dream list, you know? Yeah.
Right.
Like really, like go type up Dubai and see what you see and see if you don't want to be there.
Right.
Like it's like what?
Right.
This is something that you want to do in your lifetime on planet Earth. You want to go there. You want to go there. David, I'm gonna tell you right now. If I was in the shoes of some of these folks in our group, I'm going to be there. Not halfway. I'm going to be there as a chairman 10. What? Dubai? You'll understand. I don't think you're really, I still think you don't really understand the gravity of this. And do you know what a lot of people are doing now, David? Well, we're really sure the borders are open. Go qualify anyway.
Correct.
So that when everything is said, you're going to be there. Go qualify. Like, are you serious? You're not gonna qualify? What?
Crazy.
No, look, let me tell you something. Your life will change forever when you go to that place. I guarantee you. My mentor he just went to Dubai. This dude came back with a Marc Jacob watch. The watch, we on Facebook Live. I'm not going to say. Just realized I just saw the Facebook Live that it said.
Oh yeah.
The watch.
You got to be compliant.
The watch
is up there.
It's houses. I'm just say that.
Right. The price is tall. The price is tall like the Burj Khalifa.
Yes, tall like the Burj Khalifa, brother. I'm gonna tell you right now, baby. One of the things I want to do is I want to buy myself a Richard Mille in Dubai. I want to do that. That's a gift to myself. I'll buy my wife a Louis.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But Faith asked a question. She asked a question. She said, what did I have on? Because I said I was visualizing the 18 chairman, right?
Right.
She said, what did I have on? So I'm gonna show you what you have on. This is what I was visualizing.
Okay. All right.
Oh, let me see if I can pull it up.
Cool.
This is what I was visualizing here, guys.
All right.
18 liters with this one.
Woo.
18 liters with this one. By the way, I'm going to have on this at our next event.
Right.
I'm going to have it on the next event. So I had the picture in my mind. I have one of them 18 other leaders have on their jackets as well. I was visualizing that.
Right. Okay. So they get the chairman and they're gonna get one of those, right?
Yeah.
And so, they can that brand you can get it at Amazon for like what, $20, $25? How much?
No. This is a custom-made jacket. Custom, Custom-made jacket. The jacket is about $650 US.
Wow.
For one jacket.
So it's quality.
The best.
So they wouldn't be seeing anyone else wearing it when they go South Park or Movie Town.
You have to be a part of Impact 20K movement, and that jacket has to come from me. It's not going to be coming from anybody else. Okay? And the guy who's making this, he's in the US.
Right.
So yeah, it's special. It's special. Trust me. It's gonna be a big deal. I'm gonna put it on David for the event on the 4th of April because I want people to see it and I want them to touch it too. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then we're gonna give out the rest of the jackets in Dubai to the chairmen.
Sweet. One thing I must say, right? I value you so much. I really appreciate you in my life, right? I know there were a few times I may have said it in a presentation. You are like Moses, right? And the reason for that is I look at Moses, someone who experienced the palace,
right?
And then he had to survive the desert, right? So he was in the wilderness for some time. Then he went back into Egypt to lead the people through the desert into the promised land. And I look at you, Dr. Luke Commoner was also with you in Dubai.
Right.
So you all went to Dubai, you all experienced it. Now you all are coming back and saying, hey, listen, guys, listen, we need to get there.
We need the whole team there.
And from day one, all I ever tried to do was just stay as close as possible to you all. You know? And so I just want everybody on this call to know that, listen, just stay as close as possible. It may not always be convenient, right? It may not always be easy. We may be looking at 12 to 15. Oh my gosh, there must be a better way, right? Let me go buy some ad funnel program, right? And just get signups off of Facebook, right? Whatever, right? Don't aim for convenience at all. Be committed to it, guys, and I promise you, we just stay as close as possible, and we will be in our own promised land, right? Because I understand who you are connected to, Mr. Immonitier. My gosh,
Dude,
like
listen,
I see it. I see some screenshots in that group. The I am a cash millionaire group.
Yeah, the Chase Chairman Denver group.
Woo.
No, look, David, I was talking to Basketball today.
Right.
We were saying, bro, we are literally witnessing a man becoming a billionaire for ourselves. He is going to become a billionaire, bro. You know what I mean? That is crazy. I'm witnessing it. I'm telling you. It's crazy. So, of course, you just need sense. Like, where the heck am I going? You know what I mean?
Right. Correct.
Are you crazy?
And the blessing is going to flow.
Oh.
Blessing is going to flow.
Oh, I'm telling you, I'm just grateful, bro.
Right.
I'm grateful.
How many times we see a picture on Facebook with, you know, Mark Zuckerberg, his first meeting, he had, you know, 7 friends and only 3 or 4 of them said yes. But still people would leave this business and want to go somewhere else. I'm like, God, you don't understand.
You know what? I say to that, I say, hey, listen, the world is big enough. There's enough resources available for people to go in anywhere, wherever they want to win. Because I know everybody's not going to win with me. I just know that. I want it, but everybody's not going to win with me.
Right.
And I'm cool with that. I had to come to the place of understanding that, you know, it wasn't that I didn't have that understanding all along. Right. They helped me with that.
Right.
Yeah. Definitely.
Someone actually has a question. How do you deal with people who don't like to listen, who don't like to follow instructions?
I don't deal with them.
They say that they're running, but they're not.
I don't deal with them. I don't pay attention to the mouths that are moving, but I pay attention to the feet that are not. So you could be saying it to me, but I'm watching your actions. I'm watching. And if you're not doing the work, I don't waste time with you. Some people don't like that about me, but I have so many people to deal with. I cannot afford. I don't have the luxury of sitting down and waiting on someone to do the work. I don't have that luxury. You know what I mean? And neither should you. Because this business, you could end up wasting a lot of time with people. So whenever you're ready, I am ready. So it's not like if I'm going to treat you any less, right? But you're just not going to have my time because my time is precious. I make so many sacrifices from my family that you really think I have time to deal with somebody who's not going to listen to me when I'm already sacrificed to that? No, I don't have time for that. Don't have time for that.
Wow.
I don't.
Real. That's real. And what I believe too is as you continue doing your work, the right people will fall into the organization. Like as you continue to introduce.
Yeah, you have to become the person that you want to attract into your business. They're not going to come if you don't become that person. It's simple.
Correct. All right. Always. God always provides. And on that note, as you spoke about sacrificing family and stuff like that, I just want to say thanks to your wife. Right. I remember, you know, before I had, you know, any kind of success, you know, she used to always look at me and be like, David, you can do it.
Yeah.
Sure. Like, you know, she told, David, you can do it. And I used to understand, like, what do you talk? Like, because, you know, she and I, we never really had like an in-depth conversation or anything like that. So I used to feel like, okay, where's the foundation? Like, why are you telling me this? Is it just, you know, just for saying its sake? But I realized that she's a very genuine person and stuff, and I really value and appreciate her. So do send my regards.
Absolutely.
Right?
That's my real champion right there.
Yeah, man. So what would you say, right, to someone whose significant other is not as supportive?
You need to get them on board. Need to. And they may not necessarily have to be on board forefront, right, in the business, but they have to be willing to support you. Because I've never seen anyone with a spouse, somebody that they live with, and that person be negative and that person become very successful. Right. They would try, and then they'll get wary.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, in closing, where do you see yourself? Where do you see the organization in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I see us with an organization of 5 years, you say. Yeah, an organization of at least 500,000 people. 500,000 people. Just next level, like next level. Right. 5 years from now, several chairman 100s, chairman 250s, chairman 500s. 5 years from now, I will be off the charts in the company for sure.
Sweet. And what would be maybe the top 3 things that you would tell someone that they should work on in order to have the type of results that you've been able to have thus far and, get to higher levels also?
3 things?
Top 3 things.
Number 1, who are you listening to? You have to know what you want. And you have to be willing to pay the price to get it done. Paying the price encompasses a lot of things. Paying the price spiritually, third, like doing the spiritual work, and paying the price physically as well. So part of the spiritual work is personal development, working on yourself, self-image, and then the physical work. So who you're listening to, you have to know what you want, and you have to be willing to pay the price.
Good deal. All right, yeah. Cool. And in closing, is there, what would be that last line that you would leave before you drop the mic and you exit stage left?
All things are possible to them that believe.
Wow.
Life of a believer.
Wow. All things are possible to them that believe. Right. So guys, you all heard it from the man, the myth, the legend, my Moses, Mr. Guy McSween. Guys, I truly believe that the Bible is still being written. Right. In my opinion, the Bible is just a whole book of stories. Right. And God is still alive. So what? Stories are still being created. And if there was an extension, there would be a book of Mr. McSween.
Right? Well, listen, I want to say tonight that, David, I am absolutely blessed to have you as a part of our leadership team. You are extremely valuable to this organization. I consider you as, a true leader, true trusted leader, someone that I know is for the vision, And I want to thank you for your consistency, your leadership, and I declare that this is your season. This is your season to do even greater than I have done. I'm very, very excited to see the full manifestation of what God is doing in your life. So very, very grateful that you put this call together. That says a lot as well, and I know without a shadow of a doubt that you're going to be a multi-millionaire. Without a shadow of a doubt.
I caught that.
Facts, yeah. Facts. Without a shadow of a doubt.
Thank you so much for your time, your energy, your effort. All right. For everyone that has been on, I hope that it has been a blessing to you. I will put it on YouTube. Maybe there was something that stood out to you. Want to hear it again? It will be there, guys. Make sure you have the audio, right? So I'm going to give this away, right? I'm going to give this away. Sadly, it's a physical copy. So if you're in another country, cough, faith, my apologies, right? But I'm going to ask a question. There was something that Mr. McSween said. I just had to write that down, right? And whoever is the first person to finish the sentence, I'm going to give you this audio. Okay, I'm going to give you this audio, 7K to 7 figures. In my opinion, this audio is worth millions of dollars, right? Millions of dollars. So Mr. McSween said that the proof of belief is in your, I want the answer, right? Whoever is the first person to type it in the chat, you're going to get this audio, right? Your actions, boom, right? Geronimo and Ayana. Okay, so Geronimo, what country is he in?
He's in St. Vincent.
He's in St. Vincent. Ah. Who's Ayana? Oh, he's... All right, cool. Who's Ayana? What's that?
You can FedEx it to him.
All right, cool. Right, so Geronimo, bro, it's yours, right? You've been listening. You've been attentive. Okay? Shout out to everybody else, but you need to be quick on the jaw like HFX.
Here's what I want everyone on the call to do. I want you to snapshot, maybe screenshot David and I now, and write a takeaway. What did you take away from this call? And you can post it in your groups and then post it on social media, tag both David and I, and write what your takeaways are.
What is your biggest takeaway?
What's your biggest takeaway? All right. So God bless you guys. David, thank you for having me on. And you all took away some of my basketball time.
Wow.
You know, but
don't worry. You just sowed a seed, because you know what? We'll be able to pay for the frontline seats to see them live.
You already know.
Right?
You already know.
See that awesome, for harvest.
Absolutely.
All right, guys.
Love you guys.
Love you all. So good night and God bless to each and every one of you.